But you had turned me on to a Facebook site called, I believe the title is Doom Metal is the Best Music on Earth.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty cool site. I found a lot of different new bands that they basically just post nothing but Doom, like YouTube videos all the time, and different people just share what they think, and they're always just spreading the music around, which is pretty cool. But I've definitely discovered about 5 or 6 different bands, and a lot of them talk about a lot of the main ones that we know of, like Draconian and Swallow the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
But
they stay on course. It's like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, they know their music inside and out, and the people on there, they're into their Doom.
Yep.
And there is no confusion as to what's Doom and what's not.
Right.
You know, you're not going to see anybody on there posting the latest Godsmack video and saying, check out this awesome Doom metal.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to go back to the previous point just for a second in saying that it's bad enough that bands like Disturbed and Slipknot are considered like the heaviest bands out there. But I've also had people tell me that, you know, they want to find a CD and they say, oh, I'm looking for Nickelback. And they go to the metal section looking for Nickelback.
Oh, yeah.
Or they go to the metal section looking for Godsmack or Theory of a Dead Man. Like, now we're just getting ridiculous. Now you're not even picking something that's new metal. Yeah. Now you're just picking something that's absolute garbage radio rock.
Yeah.
And that just can't happen. And I think that's just killing.
Well, I actually had someone ask me, they were in the metal section of our store looking for Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
And when I told him that it was in our rap section, he like flipped out and was like, they're fucking metal, what the hell? And I'm like, don't they rap? And he's like, oh, well, yeah, they rap, but... And I'm like, well, yeah, then they're in our rap section.
And I actually have that argument, you know, probably once a week with somebody saying that, you know, they don't like the way our store is categorized because, you know, stuff just...
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Like they get so insulted.
Yeah, how dare you keep Insane Clown Posse in the rap section? They're the heaviest damn band out there.
Yeah, like, come on, you can't call them metal.
But that's what people do. They just call it anything that's harder than the Beatles is like classified as metal now. I mean, you know, we've worked a bunch of shows for various, you know, people, and you know, you go to a Nickelback show, and the people there really think that they're listening to like serious metal. They got the horns up in the air, which is the other thing that pisses me the fuck off. When you see people at concerts like that, like Nickelback, freaking all these concerts. You go to a goddamn Justin Bieber concert and someone is throwing up the fucking devil horn.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Do you even know what the fuck you're doing? Oh my god. You know, when you get around to listening to this podcast, you'll notice in the description I will clearly mention that this stuff pisses us off.
Yeah.
And you know, we end up just bitching every day about someone that just said something about, oh man, it just gets me so angry. I can't even describe to you how much it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because it just like degrades every band that we've reviewed on this site. If you read our site and you're a serious metalhead and you go like, oh fuck, this Tercival band is pretty cool. Oh, Dogma, that's cool. And then all of a sudden you see us do a review for the latest freaking Theory of a Dead Man album.
Yeah.
You would never come back to the site. You'd never do it and we wouldn't deserve to have you back because that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, one last thing I want to mention is that there are also those bands that are lumped in with metal, but they're close. Within Temptation is one of them.
Okay, yeah.
I could call them gothic metal.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see them just being gothic rock. Too.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, stuff like that's a fine line that you're walking. It's not like, you know, they're making, you know, Jonas Brothers albums and we're calling them metal. But
right.
So those are the only ones that I'll bend on, are the ones where it's so close. Because Nightwish is metal. We can agree on that. And there isn't that much difference between, let's say, Nightwish and Within Temptation. You know, maybe a little bit heavier on the Nightwish end, but you know. So I'm always willing to give a little leeway back and forth to rock and metal, as long as you have a reason for.
When I got into Dream Theater and I heard Systematic Chaos, that was actually like that was the first album that I really got into with them, and from there I kind of thought that they were a little bit leaning more towards metal, but after hearing a lot of their other stuff too, I would say more hard rock type of material. So,
but you know, it's fair enough to kind of if they straddle the line, you know, you can throw them either way.
I was gonna say I see Dream Theater shirts, metal shirts that people wear at metal shows that we go to. So I mean.
And I think the fan base of Dream Theater also tends to lean towards the metal side. Yeah. You know, when they did the Progressive Nation tour with Opeth, there were definitely, you know, there weren't many people there who were Dream Theater fans but not Opeth fans or vice versa.
Yeah. Who else was on that tour?
Three and BT Bam.
Oh God.
Our favorite band. There's another one. There's another one.
Yeah, That's a perfect example too of our topic.
Between the Buried
and
Me, otherwise known as BT Bam. All their fans are rabid, as we've mentioned on previous podcasts, and that's another band that I can't call that metal. I just can't.
Yep.
It pains me that people really think that's like serious metal.
Yeah, the minute that one of the I had a friend of mine that's a big fan of theirs. The minute he referred to them as BT Bam, I was like, "Oh, buddy." And I'm thinking of like a cartoon or something. The way he described it,
I can't understand it. And that's a band that I still swear if they just became an instrumental band, maybe I wouldn't hate them so much.
Yeah.
But the vocals are just pretty terrible, and especially when you get to see him deliver them in concert, and he holds up his right hand like a claw, and he just starts yelling in 3-word increments.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hot dog sauce or whatever it is he's screaming about. Just play the keyboard, and maybe I could accept that. That's another thing, when bands like that they try to be metal, so they're on the stage trying to show the guitar players trying to show how great they are on the guitar, but they're playing just basic chord progressions and just bobbing their heads and kind of swaying from side to side in that crabcore fashion, attack, the bunny, the bear, and all those terrible.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else bothers me too is this is like a venting session.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this.
It's therapy.
What bothers me is it was a couple years ago when Green Day came out with their new album, American Idiot.
Maybe.
Okay, when they came out with when they came out with their new album, they were on TV one morning. I turned the news on and they were hosting them. They were playing a free show in the city. And they had cameras everywhere showing from all different angles, and they showed one view from a helicopter where you could see the whole crowd, and there was 50 people in a mosh pit, moshing to Green Day. Moshing to Green Day, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, that's heavy shit, man. Greatest rock opera of all time, I believe someone once said. But yeah, people mosh to anything, man. Back in my teenage years when, I was just into rock before I really got into metal, I went and saw the band live. Who at the time, their big single was the song Lightning Crashes, which is a pretty mellow song. People are crowd surfing and moshing to that, man. They'll mosh it. I bet you go to a Josh Groban concert and people are probably moshing to Josh Groban. Now, he's got some strong drumming in there, but still.
Go to a Susan Boyle concert.
No, Susan Boyle, yeah. She probably gets up on the mic, I want to see a fucking circle pit, you motherfuckers! At least I can only hope. Maybe we'll go to a Susan Boyle show one day, but probably not. Chester can go. We'll send him, as our reporter on the spot. But to tie things up, just keep track of what you say with metal. Don't lump bands in just because.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a real idea, I got to say that the guy on Light and Darkness, our buddy over there, his playlists are pretty spot on. Yeah. I don't think I've ever questioned, what he plays on his metal station.
Absolutely.
A little bit from every corner of the genre, and I think, that's a really good place to go. If you're really getting into metal, you're just starting, read the reviews on our site. We'll probably point out something that you'll like, and if not, check out his station, man. You'll find something on there, I guarantee.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't got to worry about him putting up any of these commercial bands, or
no.
You won't find any Nickelback on his.
Yeah, and if he does play Nickelback, I promise you we will sever all ties.
Yeah.
We'll keep it clean. We don't want to be associated with that. But definitely check out his station, Light and Darkness. It's on the Live 365 radio network.
Yep.
So, you'll see with this podcast also our interview with Crimfall. So you definitely want to check that out. They took some time to answer some questions. Really good interview, actually.
Yeah.
I was pretty stoked about that. Their album actually did make my top 10 list, which I'm even happier about.
Yep.
Definitely keep checking back for that. We got more interviews on the way, trying to get them out to you guys as fast as possible. Murmaider, I think you wanted to say something about buying albums from our store.
Oh, yeah, you guys should definitely buy albums from our store.
Yes, you should do that.
It's right on our site. Just click the store, and you can find all sorts of different cool deals that we got. But yeah, definitely support the bands. Help them out and buy the music. And
I want to say this, and I feel bad even saying it. Support the bands, definitely. We want these bands to succeed, all of them. And you got to see the piles of CDs that Murmaider and I accumulate just over the course of the weeks. It's new release day, and we're just making piles of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I got probably 40 CDs sitting on my desk right now, waiting to be checked out. But also support us. We got some ads over on the right side of the site there.
Yeah.
Just give it a little clicky click.
Yep.
Just a little clicky click. Leave them open for like 30 seconds and close them. Don't buy anything from there if you don't want to. Don't worry about a virus or anything. It's not a problem. Just click on that so we can make some money because we want to do this site full time.
Yeah.
We would love to do this because we love doing this for you guys now, but we're basically working 2 jobs or 3 jobs each just to get all this done. So
yeah, I'd like to be able to put all my time towards just writing. That'd be a lot of that'd be really cool.
And listening to all this great stuff and. Again, if you want an album reviewed, send us an email, sorroweternalblog@gmail.com.
Yep.
Make sure you check us out on Facebook. MySpace is still going for the time being. We now actually have a Tumblr account, so you can follow us on there as well. Keep checking back on Twitter, posting up all the new reviews and stuff on there.
Yep.
And, thank you again for listening to this awesome podcast.
Yep.
I feel a lot better now. I think we blew off some steam there.
Oh, absolutely.
And, just make sure you don't throw the devil horns up.
No, unless you're at like a Mastodon show or something.
Yeah. Friends don't let friends throw up the horns when they're not warranted.